In our modern lives, it's easy to get lost in the labyrinth of our thoughts. We often find ourselves overthinking, worrying about the past, or ruminating about the future. It's as though our minds have become a relentless whirlpool, pulling us away from the present moment and into a never-ending cycle of anxiety and stress. But what if I told you that there is a path to inner peace and contentment? A path that has been followed for centuries by those seeking a deeper understanding of life and the human mind. This path is illuminated by the timeless teachings of Gautam Buddha, the enlightened one whose wisdom transcends the boundaries of time and culture. In this exploration of Buddhism in English, we will delve into the profound spiritual teachings of Gautam Buddha, focusing on the central message: don't think too much. The essence of Buddhism. Before we dive into the heart of the matter, let's lay the foundation by understanding the essence of Buddhism. Buddhism is not merely a religion. It is a way of life, a philosophy, and a path to enlightenment. The teachings of Gautam Buddha emphasize the impermanence of all things and the importance of letting go of attachments and desires. It is in this context that we begin to understand the significance of don't think too much, the monkey mind. To grasp the concept of don't think too much, we must first acquaint ourselves. This doesn't mean that we should renounce the world and live as ascetics. Rather, it's about cultivating a mindset of non-attachment while still engaging fully in life's experiences. We can love and cherish our relationships and possessions, but we should do so with an understanding that they are impermanent and subject to change. The illusion of the self. Another fundamental teaching of Buddhism is the concept of anatta, which translates to no self or not self. This teaching challenges the conventional notion of a fixed and unchanging self. Gautam Buddha taught that our perception of an unchanging self is an illusion, and that our identity is in a constant state of flux. When we deeply examine the nature of our thoughts and emotions, we realize that they are ever-changing. There is no permanent, unchanging self at the core of our being. This realization can be liberating, as it frees us from the burden of ego and the need to defend and preserve a fixed identity. The illusion of the self is closely tied to overthinking. We often become entangled in thoughts and worries related to our self-image, past actions, and future aspirations. By understanding the impermanent nature of the self, we can let go of these mental constructs and reduce our tendency to overthink. The present moment. One of the most powerful antidotes to overthinking is to anchor ourselves in the present moment. The present moment is the only reality, and yet we often find ourselves dwelling in the past or projecting into the future. This mental time travel fuels anxiety and prevents us from fully experiencing the richness of life as it unfolds. Gautam Buddha encouraged his followers to practice mindfulness and awareness in each moment. When we are fully present, we can appreciate the beauty of simple things, the warmth of a smile, the taste of a meal, and the feeling of the sun on our skin. The present moment offers a respite from the constant chatter of the mind. By focusing on the present moment, we break free from the cycle of overthinking. Worries about the past lose their grip, and anxieties about the future fade away. We find peace and contentment in the here and now. The Eightfold Path. To fully embrace the teachings of Gautam Buddha and don't think too much, we can turn to the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path is a practical guide to living a balanced and mindful life. It consists of 8 interconnected aspects that lead to the cessation of suffering. 1. Right view. Understanding the 4 noble truths and the nature of suffering. 2. Right intention. Cultivating wholesome and compassionate intentions. 3. Right speech. Speaking truthfully, kindly, and with mindfulness. 4. Right action. Acting in ways that do not harm others. 5. Right livelihood. Engaging in a livelihood that is ethical and aligned with one's values. 6. Right effort. Exerting effort to cultivate positive qualities and abandon negative ones. 7. Right mindfulness. Cultivating awareness and presence in all aspects of life. 8. Right concentration. Developing focused and meditative states of mind. Following the Eightfold Path provides a roadmap for living a life free from excessive thinking and suffering. It is a path of virtue, wisdom, and mental discipline that leads to the ultimate goal of Buddhism: enlightenment. The art of meditation. Meditation is a central practice in Buddhism that supports the journey towards inner peace and enlightenment. It is a powerful tool for quieting the mind and reducing overthinking. Through meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts without attachment or judgment, gradually calming the monkey mind. There are various forms of meditation in Buddhism, but one of the most well-known is Vipassana, which means insight or mindfulness meditation. In Vipassana meditation, practitioners focus their attention on the breath and observe the sensations and thoughts that arise without getting entangled in them. This practice enhances self-awareness and helps break the cycle of overthinking. Mindfulness meditation, as mentioned earlier, is also a form of meditation that is deeply rooted in Buddhist teachings. It involves paying deliberate and non-judgmental attention to the present moment, allowing thoughts to come and go without attachment. Meditation is not a quick fix, but a skill that requires patience and consistent practice. Over time, it strengthens our ability to be present and reduces the habit of overthinking. Embracing impermanence. A recurring theme in Buddhism is the concept of impermanence. Everything in the material world, including our own bodies and minds, is subject to constant change. Nothing remains the same, and clinging to what is ephemeral leads to suffering. Gautam Buddha urged his followers to contemplate impermanence regularly. By recognizing the transitory nature of all things, we can let go of attachments and reduce our tendency to overthink. When we understand that even our worries and anxieties are impermanent, we can hold them with greater ease and detachment. Impermanence also teaches us the value of appreciating the present moment. When we realize that life is fleeting, we become more inclined to savor each moment and make the most of the time we have. Compassion and loving kindness. Compassion and loving kindness are at the core of Buddhist teachings. Gautam Buddha emphasized the importance of cultivating a heart filled with love and compassion for all beings. This includes not only those we care about, but also our enemies and those who may harm us. Practicing compassion and loving kindness can significantly reduce overthinking. When we hold compassion in our hearts, we are less inclined to engage in negative thoughts and judgments about ourselves and others. Compassion allows us to forgive ourselves for our mistakes and extend forgiveness to others. Loving kindness meditation, a common practice in Buddhism, involves repeating phrases of goodwill and love towards oneself and others. This practice not only promotes self-acceptance, but also fosters a sense of connectedness and reduces the isolation that often accompanies overthinking. The importance of right speech. Our speech has a profound impact on our minds and the minds of others. Gautam Buddha stressed the importance of right speech, which involves speaking truthfully, kindly, and with mindfulness. Our words can either nourish or harm our mental state. When we engage in negative self-talk or speak harshly to others, it contributes to the cycle of overthinking and suffering. On the contrary, speaking kindly and truthfully can uplift our spirits and create positive mental states. Right speech aligns with the principle of non-harming and is an integral part of the Eightfold Path. By practicing right speech, we not only reduce overthinking, but also create an environment of harmony and understanding in our relationships. Living a simple life. The pursuit of material possessions and the constant quest for more can be a major source of overthinking and dissatisfaction. Gautam Buddha advocated for a simple and minimalist lifestyle that focuses on the essentials and reduces the distractions of the material world. Living a simple life means letting go of the relentless pursuit of wealth, status, and possessions. It means finding contentment in what we have rather than constantly desiring more. Simplicity allows us to declutter our minds and free ourselves from the anxieties of materialism. While simplicity doesn't require us to renounce all worldly comforts, it encourages us to question our true needs and values. By simplifying our lives, we can reduce the mental burden of overthinking and find greater peace in the present moment. Overcoming the ego. The ego, or the sense of self, is a powerful force that often drives us to overthink. We become preoccupied with protecting our self-image, seeking validation, and comparing ourselves to others. The ego thrives on the illusion of separateness and division. Overcoming the ego is a gradual process that involves self-inquiry, self-compassion, and a deep understanding of the impermanent nature of the self. As we diminish the ego's influence, we find greater freedom from overthinking and a sense of oneness with the world. Embracing silence. In our noisy and fast-paced world, silence is a rare and precious commodity. Yet it is in the embrace of silence that we can find respite from the constant mental chatter. Silence allows us to connect with our innermost selves and tap into a deeper well of wisdom and tranquility. Gautam Buddha's teachings challenge the ego by emphasizing the interconnectedness of all beings. When we recognize that we are part of a vast web of existence, our obsession with the self begins to dissolve. We start to see that our well-being is intricately linked to the well-being of others. Gautam Buddha often retreated into solitude and silence to gain insight and clarity. He recognized the power of silence as a means to quiet the mind and experience profound states of awareness. In silence, we can hear the whispers of our intuition and gain a deeper understanding of our thoughts and emotions. Practices such as meditation, mindfulness, and spending time in nature can facilitate our connection with silence. By incorporating moments of silence into our daily lives, we can reduce overthinking and find solace in the stillness. The path to liberation. As we journey through the teachings of Gautam Buddha and the concept of don't think too much, we come to realize that the ultimate goal of Buddhism is liberation from suffering. This liberation is known as nirvana, and it represents a state of perfect peace, wisdom, and freedom from the cycle of birth and death. Nirvana is not a distant and unattainable goal, but a realization that can be experienced in this lifetime. It is the culmination of a life lived in alignment with the principles of Buddhism, including mindfulness, compassion, and non-attachment. To attain nirvana is to break free from the shackles of overthinking, desire, and suffering. It is to experience a profound sense of inner peace and interconnectedness with all of existence. Living the wisdom of Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha's teachings provide a roadmap for transcending this suffering and finding inner peace. The practice of mindfulness, letting go of attachments, embracing impermanence, and cultivating compassion are all key elements of this transformative journey. As we apply these teachings in our lives, we discover that we have the power to break free from the cycle of overthinking and find profound contentment in the present moment. We come to understand that the pursuit of enlightenment is not a distant goal, but a path we can walk each day. In the words of Gautam Buddha, "Don't think too much" is an invitation to let go of the mental burdens that weigh us down and to live with greater clarity, joy, and love. It is a timeless message that transcends language and culture, offering solace and guidance to all who seek the path of inner peace and awakening. May the wisdom of Gautam Buddha's teachings continue to inspire and guide us on our journey towards a more mindful, compassionate, and awakened existence.